Okay, let's do the past perfect continuous. I think it's the last tense we have to learn in the past. This is the last one, I think. Hmm. Can you see it? Huh? Ah.
Don't how to this time we want to use this one. Sometimes this one this time other sometimes and use this one and use this time.
Hmm. When to use each tense? Yeah. I think as we learn the tenses, you see you have to understand what type of action it expresses and where in time, you see. And then by understanding that, you can start. You will know which one to use, and then of course you need practice. This is why maybe today we'll write, so maybe you can practice particularly the past tense. So let's see. This is the past perfect continuous. Remember we did recently present perfect continuous. Remember? I have been doing. Remember? We have been studying English since last year. No, since when? I don't know. For a few months. Right? We have been studying. Right? So this is past perfect continuous. Instead of I have been doing, this is I had been doing. This is the only difference, you see? Had. Yeah, the helping verb have is in the past. Okay, so this makes a difference. You'll see. Look at the situation. Yesterday morning, okay? In the past, was yesterday morning. Yesterday morning, I got up, simple past, and I looked out of the window, also simple past. The sun was shining, but the ground was very wet. Okay, the sun was shining, but the ground was wet, we can see. It had been raining. It had been raining. Why it's not it has been raining? Because this is yesterday, you see. It's not today's morning. If it was right now, today's morning, you could say it has been raining with the present. Yeah. So it's a similar situation of the present perfect continuous, but in the past. Yes. It rained yesterday? Because you're talking about something that happened before that past action. You see? For example, yeah, I think this can help you, see? I have been doing, for example, this is the present perfect continuous, you see? It's connected to the now. Yeah. And this one is before something in the past. You see? If you use past simple, I think here he will compare the tenses, I think. But if you use past simple, then you're talking about this situation, you see? But with regard to this situation, if you want to say something that had been happening, you have to say you use this tense. You cannot use again the past. It will not be clear. Okay. So yesterday morning I got up, I looked out at the window. So these are, you see, past actions, you see? The sun was shining. So you see, I'm pinpointing something in the past. I got up. You see, I got up. I looked out. This is like this, okay? Past. Now, the rain happened before that. Before these past actions, I got up and I looked out. So I say it had been raining. Especially if it's an action that happened for a certain time, not just one moment. No? Okay? So it was not raining when I looked out of the window. The time you got up and you look, it's not raining. Okay? It had been rainy before that. Okay. So the construction you see is the same as the present perfect continuous, but have is in the had form, you see, past form. So for all pronouns, it's the same, had. And this is the contracted form, you see. I'd been. He'd been. Yeah, she'd been. Okay? Okay. Some more examples. My hands were dirty because I had been repairing my bike. Actually, I don't know if you might remember, but we saw as kind of a similar example in the present perfect continuous. My hands are dirty. If this was in the present simple, my hands are dirty right now because I have been repairing. But this is in the past, so my hands were dirty because I had been repairing. Okay? It's like the same situation, but in the past.
But
Ah.
only thing I will, my hands because I have been prepared.
Yeah, it's okay. It's okay if it depends on what you take as now. For example, if you talk about this afternoon, for example, or let's say today's evening, okay? Today's evening. So today in the evening, you can say in the morning I did something. You can use past for that. Okay? And then something happened before that, you can use this tense as well.
Example, 10 minutes ago, something
Yes, okay.
someone already you can use present perfect.
Present perfect? Past perfect continuous. It must be something before the past action. So if you take, for example, even an hour ago or something recently in the past, and you call that the past, you don't take that as present, then you can use this tense, no problem. But if you're talking about the present, then you have to use present perfect continuous then. It depends on what you take as present.
It is to be happening now. Never.
Yeah, it could be happening still now in the present, yes. Remember, it could have stopped recently, or it's still going. You can also say that. And now we'll see with this, it's also the same, but in the past. Yeah. Tom was tired, you see, this is in the past, when he got home. This happened in the past. Now, this happened before that. He had been working hard all day. This is something that happened before and happened for a period of time. This is why continuous. He had been working hard all day. I went to Madrid. Look, Madrid. I lived in Madrid. I lived in Madrid. I went to Madrid a few years ago. You see, past, right? Simple past, you see. And I stayed with a friend of mine. All in the past. Now, this friend of mine, she hadn't been living there very long, but she knew the city very well. So she hadn't been living there. She had not been living there very long. Do you understand?
Maybe like she also living there also.
Yes, also a short time. She had been living there for a short time. Yeah, but here he takes the negative. She hadn't been living there very long.
So this is like now she's not there.
She's there.
She there.
Sorry, now we are talking about the when I went, she was there. Yeah. But now I don't know. It's not given. Yeah, it's not given.
If the present continue, present perfect continue, like she will stay there. If the present perfect continuous.
She has been living? Yeah. She could still be living there. Yeah. Then it means that, okay, this is the present perfect continuous, right? So it goes up to the present, right? Now the past perfect continuous, it's the same, but it goes up to the past, to this past action. And then what is this past? It depends on the sentence. In this sentence, I went to Madrid. This is the past, you see? This is the point in time you're giving as the past. And stayed with a friend, also here in this past. Now you use the past perfect continuous to talk about here, before this action. Do you understand?
Yes.
But what is happening in now, I don't know. It's not given. We are talking about here, this time.
I understand when they
Yes.
distant tense explain about us, right?
About us?
About me, I'm talking some experience like this. I've been to.
Okay. Yes, your past experience.
Yes, we did not talk about she.
In this sentence, she is the subject. So now we're talking about she. Yeah.
About she, but for we talk about us. No?
Here you're talking about yourself. For example, I, no? Let's say if I was saying this, here I'm talking about myself. And then I'm setting this, I'm telling you what happened in the past, you see? So we are in this point over here.
Only,
okay?
But they only take her for example, right? For example, it past perfect continuous sentence.
As an example? What do you mean? In this sentence, I'm talking about myself, you see, my experience.
Yes.
And here I'm talking about this woman. Not myself. She hadn't been living there very long, but she knew the city very well. You see, it's all about her.
Yeah, you talk about her, but directly.
It's related to yourself,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
related to your past action. Yeah, you
Yeah,
see?
yeah.
Yes. Yes. This past action over here, in this sentence, okay, in these two sentences, the past is given as my own action, you see?
Yes.
I went and I stayed. Okay?
Yes.
But this action had been doing is done by her, not by me.
Yes.
Okay, no problem.
Yes, no problem. Because I heard when they asked, "He still there?" Something like that.
Ah, okay. If he asked if she was still there, right? In the now here, we don't know.
Yes.
We don't know. We only know over here what's happening. So I went to Madrid, okay, this is all past. She hadn't been living there for very long. This means in the past, we can understand she had been living there for a short time, we could say. But, some contrasting information now, but she knew the city very well.
Very good.
Not she had been knowing the city. Okay? She knew the city.
Past.
She knew the city very well, yeah.
Past.
Past simple. You see? She knew the city very well. Okay? You can say that something had been happening before something else happened. You see, one thing in relation to the other. Two actions here. We had been playing tennis for about half an hour. You see? Also, the past perfect continuous talks about a period of time, you see? Just like the present perfect continuous, you see? Remember we used the present perfect continuous to talk about how long something happened, or for how long, or since when. Since when. So you see the past perfect continuous also is a bit similar, you see? We had been playing tennis for about half an hour when it started to rain heavily. So if you look here in the timeline, this is like a timeline. 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 Okay? So this is the timeline. Here, we had been playing tennis for about half an hour. When we read this clause, you see, this clause tells us that something happened for a period of time before another action. We still don't know what is that action. It's coming on the next clause. When it started to rain heavily. You see? So when it started to rain, it's here. It's the past, simple past action. And something that had been happening before that is over here, you see? Had been happening. So we had been playing tennis for about half an hour when it started to rain heavily. Do you understand the situation? Now we don't know what's going on. It's not giving any information about now. It's all about the past and what happened before that past action. Okay? Everything already finished, yeah. Okay? Let's see this next point. Compare present perfect continuous and past perfect continuous. Okay? I think you have already got a good idea. Let's see these examples. I hope the bus comes soon. I hope. Present simple. I hope. Present simple, you see? I hope the bus comes soon. Just right now, I hope. Okay? I have been waiting for 20 minutes. I've been waiting for 20 minutes. He's still waiting, you see? He's still waiting. He started waiting 20 minutes in the past, and now in the present, he's still waiting. Okay? I have been waiting for 20 minutes. But look at this. At last, the bus came in the past. For example, yesterday. I'm talking about yesterday or last year or whenever it is in the past. At last, this means like finally. Like after a long time, at last the bus came. At last the bus came. So this is the past simple here. I had been waiting for 20 minutes before the bus came. You see? It's the same situation, but in the past. You see? Now, yeah, now I could be at home. Now, I don't know what's happening now. Yeah. Okay? Okay. James is out of breath. Remember, out of breath? Like that, no? When you're panting. We call this panting. Panting is like breathing very heavily. Yes, panting. We call this panting. To breathe rapidly like this. Like after running, you're panting. Panting, you see? Yeah. Panting. New word. Panting. More like USA. Yeah. Yeah. More like American pronunciation. Huh? Asian. I think, for example, here in Sri Lanka is British, I would say. Because they were British colony. Because of the British colony. India as well, a bit more British. Yes.
Very fast. India.
India? Sadhguru, yeah. Also a bit like UK, right? Or no? Really?
I think US is really clear.
For me, it's easier, yeah.
I wanna go.
You have to try to get used to both. In terms of grammar, it's quite similar. So you don't need to worry, you just learn English in general. It's not so different. But the pronunciation and some words, some expressions are different, yeah. Yes. A little bit the spelling, yeah. For example, They say color in America. Color in America, but in UK it's color with a U. Some slight differences, like few things like this. Okay? Huh? Both are correct, yes. So I think I have like a mixture of these two. But I learned American. My dad learned in America, in New York, my father, and then he taught me American English as he knew it. Example number 2. James is out of breath. Okay, this is present, you see. Right now, he is out of breath. He has been running. He has been running. Do you understand? No, it started in the past, and it either he's just stopped, or he's still running. But he's been running, usually if there is no time, if he doesn't say for this amount of time, or since this amount of time, then usually we understand that the action has just stopped. So he has been running, he's out of breath. So now he's like this, you know?
We can say he's been running early morning.
He's been running early morning. Early morning is like in the past. So he was running early morning.
Early morning?
Unless it's like a habit. If it's a habit, okay. Like every early morning he runs. So you can say he's been running early morning. Yeah. Out of breath. Sorry? Bread. Bread. This one is breath. Breath. And that's bread. Bread. With the D sound, no? Bread. Sometimes it's very subtle. Bread. You see, almost no D. Bread. But breath, you can see a difference because of the last sound, right? Breath. Finger bread. Yeah. That's another word, right? Difficult word, right? Bread. This another word, you see?
Breath.
Let's see.
Breath.
I don't know if they pronounce this D. Breath. Or if they don't.
Breath. Breath.
Breath. I think there is a subtle D over there. They kind of pronounce the D, it seems. Yes, the D is over here in the phonetic. Breadth. It's a D and then the TH. Breadth. It's a little difficult, this word. Okay. So this happens, you see, in relation to the present. James is out of breath. He's been running. Now, the same situation in the past. Look, James was out of breath. For example, yesterday, he had been running. This is the same situation, but in the past. Okay? Comparing past continuous and past perfect continuous. It wasn't raining when we went out. It was not raining. Was raining, what is this tense? Was raining. Past continuous. Past continuous, you see the verb to be and the verb in ing, you see? For example, I was working. Past continuous. It wasn't raining, here with the negative. It wasn't raining when we went out. Okay, this is simple past, right? Yes. The sun was shining. Past continuous. The sun was shining, but it had been raining, so the ground was wet. So before the sun was shining, you see, It had been raining before that. Okay? Catherine was lying on the sofa in the past continuous. She was tired, past simple, because she had been working hard. You see? This happened before the tired, you see? This was lying. If I bring it here to the timeline, was lying is an action that happened here before the past and hasn't finished yet. She was doing something at that time. Okay. Some verbs, for example, know, are not normally used in continuous forms. Again, like present, remember? Present perfect continuous? We don't say, I have been knowing. We don't say that. I have been knowing this. We don't say this. Yes, I have known this. I have known. Okay? Sorry? Present perfect continuous. I have been using. You can use. What do you mean? Any place? Okay. Have been.
So what is it? No way.
This verb, it's like an exception. It's an exception. You know, when you have a rule, and a rule, for example, a rule, and sometimes you have a few exceptions. A few cases that you don't do that. You know, a few cases, yeah. In this, for example, with the verb to know, we don't say knowing in this case. Yes. I had been knowing. We don't say that. Yeah. Knowing is not something you do like that, you know, like, yeah, you just know something, then, yeah, it's not something that repeatedly happens, no? So we don't say I had been knowing, or we don't say I had been having. Also, we don't say that, for example. So there are some verbs that we can see this list of verbs. You see, there is a list of verbs, some special verbs. Okay. So look at this example. We were good friends in the past. We were good friends. We had known each other for years. You see that all the construction, the whole situation, asks for continuous. But with this verb, you don't use continuous. Yes, had past perfect, yes, past perfect. We had known. Not we had been knowing each other, okay? A few years ago, you see, in the past, Lisa cut her hair really short. Okay, she cut her hair really short in the past. I was surprised, also in the past, because she had always had long hair. You see the verb have. Also, we don't say she had always been having. No. She had always had long hair.
But this statement would be used had been
Had been?
Yeah. No.
Past perfect continuous?
Yeah. Some cases different.
Just a few exceptions, yeah. Depends on these verbs. Some special verbs. So with these verbs you should not use that continuous. We can see the list now. So here there are some exercises, but I'll leave these exercises for your weekend. Okay? Now I won't give you time for this. I would like you to do these exercises during the weekend. Okay? You have 2 days off. And I'll take a look at this list. Unit 4A. Unit 4A. Unit 4A. Here. We use continuous forms, I'm waiting, it's raining, etc., for actions and happenings that have started but not finished. This is not new for you, right? Some verbs, for example, know and like, are not normally used in this way. We don't say, I am knowing something. You see? They are liking something. We don't say that. Okay? Yeah. They are liking, we don't say that. We say, I know they like. Yeah. Yeah. So the following verbs, you see, we have a list here, are not normally used in the present continuous. Like, want, need, prefer, know, realize, understand, recognize, believe, suppose, remember, mean, belong, fit, contain, consist, and seem. Okay? The way I have learned this is just by, I think, just by using the language a lot and by listening and reading and all that, and then you kind of naturally understand how to use this. Yeah. So you can just see many cases for this. You don't need to memorize this list, I think, you know? Okay? Understanding? You don't say, I'm understanding something, but understanding is a noun. Understanding itself is a noun.
Right? Understanding.
Yes, for example, right understanding. Yes. But this is not normally used. Not normally used doesn't mean completely not used. Okay? Okay, I'm hungry, for example. I want something to eat. Not I'm wanting something to eat, you see? I think if you, but even you may see this and you may feel like it's very strange, right? I'm wanting something to eat. We don't say that, right? So you naturally learn these things, okay? I'm wanting, no, we don't say that, right? Do you understand what I mean? You see? Do you understand? Not are you understanding? You see? Not are you understanding? No. Do you understand what I mean? Yes. Mean also not what I'm meaning. No. What I mean. In the present simple, you see? Anna doesn't seem very happy right now. Even though it's happening right now, she doesn't seem. Not she is not seeming. You know, we don't use the ing form, continuous form. Anna doesn't seem very happy right now. Okay? So keep in mind these verbs, we don't use continuous. Okay? Yes. Okay. So now I want you to do a different exercise. I'll put a story here for you to read, and I want you to try to read as fast as you can. Okay? Fast.
But video.
Huh? It's not a video today. I couldn't find any videos for today, but so I just took a story. So you have to read. I want you to especially read because we do a lot of listening already. I want you to try and read it, and then at the end I want you to write whatever happened as much as you can remember. So you have to read, not too slow, as fast as you can, and then try to understand, like it's just a story, and then I want you to write that story as much as you can. Not in every detail, don't worry, just kind of a summary of that story, whatever you remember. Okay, so you have to use past. There is a lot of past, especially in the past. Okay, so I think for this, can you see it well? Is it big enough if I do it like this? Huh? Wait. Can you read? Or maybe bigger is better, right? Okay? Yeah, you probably know this story, but anyways, I want you to read it in English. No problem. Okay? So, can everyone see? Can everyone see clearly? Can you read? Okay. Yes, ma'am? Huh? This is Tipitaka, yes. Huh? This one in English because it's the Dhammapada, we have the Atthakatha in English. Atthakatha in English. Sorry? This is the Devala and Narada. Yes, yes. Also in the Jatakas, right? Yes. So it's here in the Dhammapada, see? This story. Sorry? The story of these two ascetics. Okay, we'll see now. So I want you to, what do? We read together, okay? Let's read together. Saying? First time together. Okay. Do you want me to read it out loud, do you think? Is it better? Mm. Everyone reading? I read it. And then you're just reading and listening to me. Okay. Okay. It's a little long. Let's see if we do everything or maybe I stop in the middle, okay? Let's see. So, a story of the past, Devala and Narada. Once upon a time, wait, I want to stop recording this, what I was doing.